Hey, your viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist. Welcome back to So You're Being Hunted. This is episode 287. We're continuing on, let me say that again, I think my words just came out very garbled. We're continuing on with the Oblivion Light Challenge. So we started this challenge again, or rather a modified version of the Oblivion Challenge in the last episode. Cleared out the old centre island. We're here on the North Island now. As you can see, biome terrain generation is quite wacky. But, you know, that's what we love about So You're Being Hunted. You know, this is one of the reasons why I kind of want to come back and do that parkour assassin challenge again. You know, you remember the one where I have to stand on top of a roof and I have to kill robots to score points, but I can only score points if I kill them from on top of a roof. You remember the old deal with that one. It was a nice little challenge, actually. I think, from what I remembered, last time I did that challenge I actually failed it, because I got killed by a squire. You know, because it would be a squire, wouldn't it? They're usually the ones that always empty their frigging bullets into me in rapid succession. But, yeah, like I say, I kind of want to do that challenge again, just because it was kind of fun. Right, I hear... Jesus, the way that path's generated. That wisp is going to lead me up the frigging cliff, isn't it? See? It does. Right, so we need to get up. But we need to watch out for robots. There's robots on the crest of the hill. Right, where did the wispy go? Old Wispulon. I don't know. Right, I hope you guys are all doing well, as usual. I always say this, pretty much in every So You're Being Hunted episode, just before I launch into a topic of conversation. But, you know, I'm generally curious, I guess. Want to know. Because I'm a nice person, I swear. I swear I am. But, eat those fish and chips, there we go. Fosh and chops. Lovely. But, something actually that I kind of want to talk about. I say I want to talk about a couple of days ago, as of when I record this. Though, having said that, you know, I say a couple of days ago, as of when this video goes out, it'll be more like a couple of weeks ago. But you know, I was watching a bit of TV, and something that came up just kind of got me thinking about a topic, which I'm going to talk about. Wow, it's another set of fish and chips. It's amazing. I fucking love fish and chips. Actually, you know what, I'll talk in a second once I just deal with these guys up here. Stop! You violated the law! Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood. Need to watch out in case there's a dog. Nobody wants the dogs. Or rather, nobody wants to have to deal with dogs. You ain't getting shotgun ammo, have you? It's a small piece, which is pretty good. But at least we took that out. Awesome. They're going up. So they'll probably disappear off and locate another area at some point. What was I talking about? So, I was watching TV recently, and I was watching BBC One, and of course, a trailer came on for a certain show by the name of Doctor Who. You know, Modern Who and all that, with, what's-her-face, Jodie Whittaker. And it kind of got me thinking about Doctor Who, basically. Because here's the thing, right? A few years ago, back in my sort of slightly younger days, I actually did used to watch Doctor Who. I used to watch it a fair amount, and I actually used to watch some of the old ones as well. But I must say, the last few years I stopped. Well, several years ago I basically stopped watching Doctor Who, and I haven't watched it in years because, truth is, I think part of me is the fact that probably I just outgrew it. But I don't know. The last few years, or rather, you know, as I was watching it a few years ago, I felt like ever since Christopher Eccleston stopped doing it, the tone of the show kind of just changed a bit, and I didn't really like it, where it went. I mean, it wasn't a sudden change, it was a gradual kind of change, but this may be a slightly unpopular opinion here, but I honestly didn't think David Tennant was anywhere near as good as the Doctor as he was cracked up to be, because a lot of people rave about David Tennant's Doctor, and they go, oh, you know, he was the best Doctor there's ever been, and all that. Gonna be honest, I didn't really rate him personally myself, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that's because he's a bad actor. I just think maybe part of the problem comes down to the screenwriters. I just didn't like how the character was written during the David Tennant era. Because, you know, looking back over David Tennant's episodes, it always felt to me as though David Tennant's 10th Doctor only ever had two emotional settings. One was manically happy and excitable, and the other was moody and depressed and always worried, and it felt like those were the only two emotional settings of the character. I mean, you know, feel free to disagree with me if you want. That was just my 2 cents and all that. But the thing is, like, Doctor Who, I can't remember if me and Phil have actually mentioned this in a previous Sir episode, or whether it was... Me and him have briefly referred to Doctor Who before on one of the videos here on the channel, but like I said, I can't remember if it was here in Sir You're Being Hunted, or if it was in a different series. But Phil, obviously, he's never watched Doctor Who before and has no real interest in it. And one of the things I said to him was that, you know, much like him, I haven't watched it in years. Or I haven't, you know, actually not much like him, but what I mentioned to him is that I haven't watched it in years, basically. Oh, we've got lawbreakers down here. Hold on, I'll have to deal with those. I'll resume conversation in a second. Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood. Get out of here. Is it just the one robot guarding this thing? I think it is. Hold on, let me just unload that shotgun. This dangerous shotgun, lawbreakers, get rid of their guns. So I was saying, yeah, I was talking about Doctor Who and what I'd said to Phil in another video somewhere. I said to him that I used to watch Doctor Who, but I haven't watched it in a long time. And one thing that I said to him was that sometimes to me it felt like the quality of Doctor Who episodes could be really hit and miss. And that's one thing that I find with not just new Doctor Who, but also to an extent with classic Doctor Who as well. Like some episodes are genuinely actually quite interesting. They have interesting ideas and unique concepts, and actually sometimes some creepy villains and monsters. You know, like the first ever episode where the Weeping Angel showed up, that was actually kind of a creepy episode, and there were a lot of elements of that which were kind of good, and which I kind of enjoyed. Similarly, what was it called? The Christopher Eccleston 9th Doctor episode, The Empty Child, the one where he and Rose go back to the Blitz, 1941, or whatever it is. And, you know, they have like the kid with the gas mask who like wanders around. That was actually also kind of creepy in some respects, and actually quite a memorable one. But it also feels to me like there's a lot of Doctor Who episodes which are so shit. To be honest, I'll be brutally honest. There's a lot, like I say, that are so hit and miss. And it's kind of just... It really affects the quality of it overall, in my eyes. Because, like I say, there's some stories which I kind of like, but others which I just think are kind of rubbish. Okay, more robots. Stop! You violated the law! Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Then pay with your blood. Right, there's two of you. Where are you going? Right. He's out. Okay. Oh, need to take out this one as well. Wow, that small tree kind of deflected a lot of shots. That guy fired 2 shots and was still aiming at me as though he was going to try and fire. How strange. There is a fucking dog somewhere around here. I hear him. Uh-oh. Oh, that landowner's close. Let me have the body. Oh, there you are. Has he seen me? He has seen me. He's seen me, alright. He's got fucking dogs. Well, if we lead him on a bit of a path, we can maybe sort of loop around and get that device piece. Yeah, he's over there. He's looping around. Just ignore him. Problem is there's fucking dogs in the woods, which is not what we want, really, is it? You to do these things. Oi, I'm gonna get you. Go and get you. You're down. Where's the other one? There it is. Got it. Get it quick. Get it quick. Right, that's all the device pieces for this island. Yes. We can get out of here. Fuck. Lawbreakers in the woods. Get out of here. Uh-oh. We've wandered straight into a firing squad here. All these people are turned up because, you know, they're freaking Doctor Who fanboys. They're pissed off that I said that I don't like elements of Doctor Who. No, leave me alone, okay? Freedom of speech. I have the right to be, you know, I have the right to criticise things and all that. Good lord. Yeah, like I say, some stories can be really hit and miss. And the ones I'm kind of thinking of, you know, examples here. Do you remember that episode in David Tennant's first series? First outing as Doctor Who? And the one where they had Peter Kay in it? As the Absorbaloff, or whatever it's called. What the fuck was that episode all about? Seriously. That episode was fucking terrible. I'll be honest. I mean, not least for the terrible fucking sex joke at the end about a guy having a love life with what essentially is a fucking paving tile. I mean, what the fuck were the screenwriters actually thinking there? But there was that episode. I always remember there was an episode where the Doctor and his companion went back to a house where Agatha Christie was, and there was like it was like a whodunit, but the murderer turned out to be a fucking giant wasp. What the fuck was that story? Seriously, that was another really shit one. That was, if we're being brutally honest. But yeah, there's just little examples like that of ones which are really just cheesy and really bad. That's what I always found. It's like, it's okay to have a bit of humour in your story, but there is a point at which it becomes a bit much, and you've got to avoid going down that sort of corny, cringy path. And, you know, I know some people probably kind of look at it and argue that that's the whole point of Doctor Who, but I don't know, even then, maybe it is, but I still feel there's a cut-off point at which too much of that, it just becomes too much, and it is kind of ridiculous. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't watched Doctor Who in a long time, because it kind of did reach a point where I lost interest, and I just felt like the quality of the stories were not that good. Yeah, which is a shame, because like I say, with New Who is that sometimes the screenwriters have this thing about constantly having to revisit old monsters, or monsters that they previously had, which have been successful, rather than necessarily just kind of, you know, having an episode with that monster in once and then not overdoing it. Because that's the thing, like the Weeping Angels I mentioned a moment ago, you know, the first episode they appeared in was actually kind of creepy and kind of interesting, but then of course it's like, after the success of that episode, of course they tried to bring them back, and it didn't really work, in my opinion, because the settings that they then started putting them in were just not as creepy or effective. But yeah, so there was that. And it's just that constant kind of bringing things back. And here's the thing, like, you take a kind of classic old Who villain, like the Daleks, for example. The Daleks are an interesting idea for a monster. And of course, they first appeared back in 1963 in the original, going back right back to the earliest days of Doctor Who. And obviously, you know, by today's standards, their design is pretty dated. But I still think the Daleks as a villain, as a monster, can be scary and unsettling. It just depends on how they're utilised and what sort of environment they're put into. Because I think, here's the thing, if you want the Daleks to be scary in modern Doctor Who, my personal recommendation would be not to have them talking all that much. Because let's be honest, that sort of, you know, very shrill electronic screeching voice that they have, it might have been scary back in the 60s, not so much now, I would say. And in fact, if there's one thing that I often felt with New Who, with the Daleks, is that the screenwriters had them doing nothing but talking about how villainous and evil they were, and things like this, and how they're going to exterminate all other races, and yet, in all this talking, they never actually did really any killing. Did anyone else feel that way about New Who, or was it just me? I don't know. That's why I just felt like the Daleks could have been handled so much better in New Who. Like I say, they just feel like they don't do that much killing. So for a race of creatures which are supposed to be absolute horrendous, unfeeling killing machines, they sure do friggin' yammer on a lot. But yeah, I think, you know, if I was the screenwriter for Doctor Who and I was tasked with writing a Dalek episode, I would have them doing way more killing than they do. And I wouldn't have these stupid scenes with, like, you know, them screaming for mercy from a human being. Because it's like, I don't know, that's not really in their character, is it? At least that's what I always thought about the Dalek creatures. Yeah. Because there was that episode, I think it was in the 11th Doctor, where River Song shows up and she holds a Dalek at gunpoint. You remember that? Does anyone else remember that? I can't remember which episode it was, but I seem to recall that being a thing. And that's another thing, actually, about New Who as well. Some of the fucking storylines, so protracted. Like the whole River Song thing. It felt like that, just, they stretched that over so many series. And it got to a point eventually where I felt, what the fuck is going on with this character? Give me the big reveal here. Like, what's going on? I'm getting kind of bored waiting for you to give this big reveal and all that. But yeah, I've just thought that actually I might wrap this episode up here since I've cleared out another island. So I'm going to do that. We're going to Jeez, I nearly said we're going to end this episode here even. Wow, I just went off on a bit of a rant about Doctor Who there. Yeah, reasons why I don't watch Doctor Who, or rather why I stopped watching it years ago. Yeah, personally, not my cup of tea. But, you know, if you enjoy it, that's fine. You know, I'm not saying you can't enjoy it, just giving a few thoughts on the matter. Maybe it'll stir up some interesting conversation down in the comments below, or then again, maybe it'll trigger a load of fanboys. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed that then, everybody, and hope you'll join me for episode 288, where we'll clear out this West Island Oblivion Light challenge, going better than it did previously so far. Loving it. If you're, not doing so already, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel where I do various anime-related gubbins. If you're interested in that kind of thing. What else? As I say, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Share my videos with your friends on social media. Ooh, a bit of gas coming up my throat for me tea, which means it's time to wrap up. Goodbye, everybody. Finish the Queen Geist. I've got you now. Oh, hello. Let's just plant some dynamite on your head. Come on. Clear. Aha! Shot your... Oh, no, I didn't. Blew your head off, rather. Whew. That's that monstrosity finished off. Get over there. See ya. Oh, shit! No! Oh, fuck! I did not mean to do that. Oh, please don't tell me I have to kill it again now. Shit! Bollocks! Well, I'm officially a frickin' idiot.